Okay, so today we are going to be transforming and toning an already bright blonde. I mean, you can see here she's very, very light. She still has a golden tone, but we're looking for more kind of like a honey lived in blonde look. So we're going to give her a shadow root and then also a low light and a toner. So with this palette that we're working with, we're going to be using the Gold series. I think is a very underrated and also series that most of us shy away from, but I really am seeing some of those nice honey tones coming back into popularity. And so this is what we'll be working with as a canvas. You can kind of use this as an inspiration for some of your already blonded highlighted clients to give them just more of a natural, purposeful honey look. Now, a lot of clients see brass when they see gold, but I'm going to show you that utilizing our Gold series, you actually can get a very natural, beautiful look. So we're going to be utilizing a low light of 8.3. And we're going to be mixing that with our 10 volume color producer, mixing 1 part color to 2 parts developer to get a perfect demi-permanent deposit. And for our root shadow, we're going to be utilizing our 7.37G series and 10 volume mixed 1 to 1.5 for a permanent deposit. And for our toning of our blonde, we're going to be utilizing our 9.3 series and our 5 volume color producer. We will be mixing that 1 part color to 2 part color producer to create a toner. Okay, so making sure you're using a scale, and I like to just kind of use a chalkboard marker on the side of my bowl to mix my different colors. So I have my base here, and then I have my 8G, and then I also have my toner here. And actually, correction, I mixed the toner because I'm using a level, so like a level 9 gold. I mixed the toner 1 part color to 3 parts 5 volume color producer. I like to do that just to give it some more sheerness and create just a beautiful soft toner. So first we're going to be applying our base. So when I'm applying a base for like a lived-in look or a shadow root, I like to kind of do it in 4 sections, and then I will go back through and kind of drag my brush down a little bit to create just some disbursement of color to create a softer effect. So I'm just applying this to the scalp. You could do this at the bowl if you wanted to. I am working on a dry canvas, which will give you a different result than working on a wet canvas. Anytime you're working on wet hair, it's going to give you more sheerness. Since we're super, super light on this mannequin head, I really kind of want to give it some more dimension. So we're working with a dry canvas, but you have the versatility of doing both. So I'm going to get this applied to all 4 quadrants, and then I'll come back and show you how I kind of drag that down. Okay, so now that we've got our root applied, what I like to do is kind of go back through, clean up my 4 sectioning, and then working on horizontals, I drag that color down a little bit with the brush and a combination of pinching with my fingers. Feel that just breaks up the line very nicely to create a true root shadow. Just pinching and kind of pulling that color down. It's a big difference between a root shadow, a root tap, and then almost like a root melt. So I feel like a root shadow is kind of somewhere in between a root tap, which would be just right in this kind of root retouch area. Root shadow is going to be pulled through a little bit after applying. So I usually apply about a 1/2 inch and then pull down. And then a root shadow, I would actually go in with that and brush it through. Okay, so now our next step is we're going to be going through and doing lowlights. I'm going to be working in this whole back section, utilizing some larger foils to do some lowlights. So we're going to be doing more of a very chunky weave. It'll kind of look really chunky, but we're wanting to create dimension, and we're going to be leaving a good fair amount of space in between each subsections. So I would say I'm working on about 1/2 inch to 1 inch subsections. And put a foil on the top of her head so I can lay her hair up there. So we're going to be kind of pulling our section from a little bit further back, and I'm just going up and down and in and out. Now, working with something that's a little bit thicker like this, you'll want to make sure that you're really saturating. That's a little too thick right there. Really saturating those sections with your low light formula, which we're using 8.3, mixed 1 to 2 with 10 volume color producer. So I'm gonna really make sure I'm working this color. Sorry, not to shake you guys too much. Working this color in. Making sure to move the hair back and forth, kind of rolling it so that I know that it's fully saturated. And we're just gonna fold this. Oh, see right there? See that little white spot? Go back in and make sure that's saturated. I'm just gonna fold this. And I'll keep working up the back of the head till I get this. We'll probably do just about 6 foils in the back of the head. So I'm going deeper in that weave. And since we're working with like 7, 8s, and 9s, we're still working in a blonde category. Especially since we used a permanent at her roots, but we're using the demi-permanent in her low light, and then we're also using a semi-permanent toner formulation for everything in between. And what I love about working with the golds is that you're not compromising brightness with toning. This is still gonna have a refined, not raw brassiness look. This will have a refined gold tone that is not only beautiful, but warmer tones appear brighter than cooler tones. So if you have a blonde that's saying they just always feel dark, you might want to make them a warm blonde so that they appear brighter, because that's just how natural color works. Cooler colors appear darker and warmer colors appear lighter, no matter what level you're working on. Really working that color in. so we went through the top mohawk section. There's about 4 foils in the top mohawk, and it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 and through the back section, and then we have 2 on the sides here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this gave you useful tips and techniques utilizing our beautiful gold series. I'm Rachel Chambers, International Educator for Colors by Gina. Be bold, be beautiful, and have a blessed day. Bye.